Gingrich comes out today, just like Eric Cantor did yesterday, and blames the violence on the Democrats. Now, this audio is not great, but I want to share it with you. I think you're going to understand most of it. And he starts, before this audio begins, he said in his statement, there's no place for viciousness against Democrats. But, let's hear the rest of it now.
Well, look, I think there's something very disingenuous about the Democratic leaders who attacked the Tea Party movement, who refused to hold town hall meetings, who refused to go back home, who kept the Congress locked up in Washington, and are now shocked that people are angry. I think the Democratic leadership has to take some real responsibility for having behaved with such arrogance and in such a hostile way that the American people are deeply upset. And so I think, well, let's be honest about this. This is a game that they're playing. People should not engage in personal threats. I'm happy to condemn any effort to engage in personal threats. But I think that the Democratic leadership has to take some real responsibility for having run a machine that used corrupt tactics, that bought votes, that bullied people, and as a result has enraged much of the American people. And I think it would be nice for President Obama, Speaker Pelosi, and Majority Leader Reid to take some responsibility for what their actions have done to this country.
I hope you heard all that, but let me, if you didn't, give you a couple of quick highlights there. He said they're just playing a game. Yeah, until one of them gets really hurt, and then it's not going to be a game anymore, Newt. And he says they have to take more responsibility, not the people who are throwing the brakes. Not the people who are cutting the gas lines, not the people who are sending the fake anthrax. No, the Democrats have to take responsibility because it's their fault. He says that they used corrupt tactics, bought votes, bullied people, and so they have some real responsibility here. I mean, it's a classic Republican thing. Blame the victim. So if my supporters shot at you or threw a brick through your window, it was your fault. You had it coming. If you hadn't bullied us, and you just listened to everything we told you to do, well, then we wouldn't have had to threaten you like this with our, enraged protesters and activists, etc. Of course, earlier, Newt Gingrich had said about terrorist attacks, well, the left, of course, always blames America for terrorist attacks as if it was our fault for getting attacked. Now, when the attacks are against Democrats, what does Newt Gingrich do? He blames them for getting attacked. And also with Virginia Tech, he had said that it was the liberal elite's fault that guy went on a shooting spree. So they take the violence, which they say, oh, I'm happy to condemn, but the Democrats totally had it coming, and it's their fault. Funny enough, the guys who did the violence are all right-wing. He forgot that part.
Yeah, it's always a direct a contradiction for what they say. I mean, a store gets robbed, a convenience store gets robbed. They'll say, you know what? I condemn those little thieves that ran off with the chips and the gum and stole everything and put the gun in the guy's face and took his money. But, it never would have happened if he hadn't put the merchandise on the shelves like that. What's wrong with him?
Imagine Republicans saying that. I condemn the robber that came into the guy's house. But on the other hand, the guy's house was nice. It was a pretty house, probably had jewelry in it. So who had the moral responsibility not to have such a nice house and such nice jewelry for their wives? Think about it. You're not often going to hear that from Republicans. But when it's attacks against Democrats, well, that's their moral responsibility. Okay, now if you think that's bad, wait till you get a load of a message that was left on Representative Harry Mitchell's office. So let's listen to that, clip number 7.
This is the call that she made to the congressman's office.
Hi, Mr. Mitchell. For the rest of your life, with the vote that you cast, you are going to have to look over your shoulder for as long as you live in this district. You are always going to have to look over your shoulder because people in your district hate your face. I love my insurance company. And to have you come in between me and my doctor, I cannot tell you how much I wish a panty bomber would come in and just blow your place up.
All right, 3 parts of that I loved. The panty bomber, where you could That's the one you went with? Okay, interesting. I hate your effing face. That was my second favorite. How come nobody ever hates the other body parts? I hate your effing chest. No, face, okay, that's fun. And then, but actually my favorite. I love my insurance company. All right, have at it, Hoss. I mean, but think about that, man. Republican propaganda works so well that this woman is convinced she loves her insurance company. Now, did she ever, I don't know, did she ever get sick? We don't know her situation. Well, she sounds like she's already sick. But did she ever get sick and have the opportunity to find out if her insurance company is even going to cover her or not? Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. So you love your insurance company now, wait and see what happens, right? And the bill passed. What happened? Has the government come in and be like, step aside, we're not going to let you see your doctor anymore? My guess is, if you went to see your doctor, whoever left that message, shockingly enough, you're going to be able to see him. And guess what? You're going to have that same exact insurance company that you love so much. What changed? Unbelievable, man. The violence and the suggested violence from these people is out of control, and it has nothing to do with health insurance. It has to do with this rage of, we are not in control anymore. Damn it, I miss power. And this is how they're venting it. Aided, abetted, and encouraged by their leadership.